Another raw footage video. A lot of us humans have this perspective that we're different. If not, we're better than a lot of things here on earth. And in a way, yeah, we are different because we're creating God's image and then we have different abilities. So yeah, we're different. But a lot of us think that we're too good, that certain things that happen on earth don't apply to us. And that's actually like really foolish and naive. And what I mean by this is that earth has its seasons. Earth has spring, summer, fall, and winter, right? And those seasons are very physical, you know. In winter, it snows, it's cold. Summer, it's really warm. And to think that we're outside of that is kind of unrealistic. More so, it's really a unrealistic way to live because we're part of it. So that stuff actually applies to us. The only difference is it doesn't appear so much, you know, in a physical realm like how it does on earth. Although we do associate a lot of times, you know, sunshine with happiness. But we have to recognize those seasons. We have to recognize when we're in a season. We have to recognize when we're in a winter, when we're in a spring, when we're in a summer, when we're in a fall. Now, it's like those things are bound to happen because it's we're part of it. So we're not always going to be in summer, we're not always going to be in winter. So it's good and bad because we're not always going to be in that rut. We're not always going to be in those bad situations, you know. But we have to recognize when we're in those seasons. And that's what's actually going to help us move and grow, because we need those seasons to grow in a spiritual realm and you know, in a mental aspect too. We have to recognize, you know, when winter's over, because a lot of times what happens when what we do is winter's over and now we're going to spring and summer, but mentally we're still stuck in winter. We're still stuck in that sadness, that financial crisis, you know, those cold, lonely nights. We're still stuck there mentally, even though it's over, the season's over, but we're still mentally, we're still there because we identify ourselves with it. We identify ourselves as, you know, being lonely, being sad. We identify ourselves with those seasons. And even though that season might be over, even though that person might be gone, even though, you know, that financial crisis is done and dealt with, we still get stuck there mentally. So is it so much that you can't be happy, or is it that you're not letting yourself be happy? Is it so much that your winter's super long, or is it so much that you're still stuck there mentally, even though spring is here and summer's here, the opportunities are there, the doors are opening, flourishing moments are coming in, but you'd like to see it because you're so stuck in winter, you're so stuck in that person. So we have to really look deep and realize when a season is over and when a season's coming, you know. And it's the same thing when you're in winter. Recognize that, hey, this is only a season, this is only happening for a little bit. I just have to, you know, stay positive, or, you know, or even, you know, be realistically positive to know that it's tough right now, but it's not gonna last forever. Bad days do not last forever. They last as long as you let them last. So really recognize what season you're in, you know, and ask yourself, is it time to move forward? You know, is winter over? Is that person gone? Is it time for me to move on? It's a new year. Am I still dealing with things last year? Is it time to quit identifying ourselves with that season? Because each season comes to pass. Each season comes for us to grow from it. That's how we grow in a spiritual and mental aspect, guys. You know, God's telling you, we always talk about how, you know, God's being unfair to me, and, you know, God is always making hard stuff for me, and my life is so unfair. And then you ask, where's God? Well, God's over here waiting for you to quit, you know, move on. That season's over. It's not so much that, you know, God's not letting you move past it. Sometimes it's us who stay there and identify ourselves with it. We are not our problem. Our problems happen. We are not mistakes. We made mistakes, but we aren't mistakes. You know, we aren't winter. Winter's just part of a season we go through. We aren't sadness. Sadness, emotion that we have, but it's not who we are. We really have to recognize all of that. And it's time to go forward. Time to quit identifying ourselves. The answer is within you. Everything that you want, and the key to moving forward is not in another person. It's not in these opportunities. It's all within you to move forward. because opportunity is there. It's just a matter of, are you going to recognize it and move forward? You know, it's, you know, the opportunities we're asking for, that anxiety that we want to be over is over here. Those prayers we're asking God, it's over here. You know, that guilt that we have because we make mistakes. None of us are perfect, and that's not even the reason we're on earth, to be perfect. It's to be better and learn. So to have guilt and is good, but to identify ourselves with the shame is bad. Guilt tells us what not to do, but being ashamed, that's identifying yourself with that. It's telling yourself, I am this thing, I am this mistake, but you're not that mistake, you made a mistake. And that's a difference from being ashamed and being guilty. Guilty is telling you, hey, don't do this. Being ashamed telling you, hey, this is who you are. The opportunities that God has for you, the opportunities, the door opens are over here. But you can't see that until you move on. That anxiety is always going to be there. That anxiety is never going to be over until you quit identifying yourself with it and move forward. Quit holding on to all of that. You need to forgive someone in order to move on. Because when you don't forgive someone, you hold that hatred, that's in a way you're saying, I'm still in that season. And as I move forward, I'm going to take that with me. Drop that luggage of hate. Drop that luggage. And it's the same thing. If you made a mistake, take responsibility for that. Own up to it and say, hey, I'm not going to do this again. It's not who I am. And who cares what people say? Who cares if you start acting a better way and people start saying, that's not who you are? Who cares, guys? Move into the new season gracefully. Recognize the season and